Soraya. Morning, morning. Yes, whenever you come here, just give me a hi. Yeah. So someone has just asked me a question today to compare what is better. Good morning, Kenneth. What is better between importing your own car, importing it yourself from Japan, and buying it from a bond here in Kampala? Yeah, so I'm going to be talking about that, and I'm also going to be talking about you avoiding the excitement. Yeah, I mean, the car is meant to serve a purpose. Yes, we love cars. Nobody loves cars better than me, but I know that when I buy a car, it's supposed to serve a purpose, and I make sure that it serves that purpose. Yeah, so we're going to be talking about that as well. And if you have questions, I will also be answering them. Yeah, also be answering them. So let's enjoy the view for the guys that are not in Kampala. Today is it's not so cold. There is no rain as well. Yeah, so but of course it's cold for the people that normally feel cold. Yes, good morning, Brian. Yeah, the day is like that. The jam is not there from where I am. Yeah, so it has been a number of days without us being in touch. Yeah, but we are here today. So I'm exploring the new things that YouTube put in its app. They actually have effects like TikTok. Yeah, these guys are really copying TikTok. TikTok is creating a trend. Yeah, so good morning. When you're here, you give me a hi, and then we see. If you have a question, you can post it right away. I already have a question that just came on WhatsApp. Yeah. So I'm also going to be talking about that, as well as I'm also going to be talking about why and how we should avoid the excitement of buying our first car or our second car. You know, the excitement never really ends. The excitement keeps coming. Yeah, the excitement keeps coming. You buy your first car, you think it's the most excited you've been, until you get the money to buy your second car. Then you realize, hey, because now you have gotten the experience of driving a car, so it seems like you actually know what you want. So the excitement actually comes again, and this time it might actually be worse than the first time. Yeah, so it's important that we try as much as possible to avoid the excitement. So I'm going to be talking about that as well. Yeah. So if I have a follower that recently bought a car, give us a shout out. Share your experience buying your car, because I know I have followers that actually use the guidance we get here, the experience we get here from me and the other followers that I have, and they go and buy very good cars, and then they have a very good experience. So it's important that we share the good experience and what you went through to buy your car. Yeah. So if you're online, you should take note of this website. It's my website. I share articles there. Buyacarkampala.com. Just type that in the browser, buyacarkampala.com, no spaces. Buyacarkampala.com, no spaces. And then you can get to read the number of articles that I have there. some of the videos that I do here, I transcribe that and I put them in an article there. For example, a video like today's video, I could actually go and write an article out of it for the people that have probably missed, or the people that are much more comfortable reading than watching. The people in Uganda that find it hard to actually watch an entire 1 hour video, they can read articles from the website. So I try as much as possible to transcribe all the content that I get here into written articles, so that those that find it uncomfortable watching a full hour video, they can go and read them. So I'm on Bombo Road, for those that don't know which road I'm on. I'm on Bombo Road. Let's try to clean the window. So I'm on Bombo Road, and this is around the area where Kiri Soda is, the factory Kiri Soda. Actually, there are a lot of factories here. There are even products I've never seen, like Lifeline mineral water. So that ahead of us is the Chiri factory. And then there is another factory right on the left. I have no idea what those guys do, but it's also a factory. So what's your experience driving your car, guys? For the followers that are driving in Kampala, what's your experience with the fuel? It's important that we share this as well. The fuel has of course gone down. My full tank used to cost 300 or 320, 340. The last time I refueled, my full tank cost me 280. Of course, currently I refuel from City Oil, because, well, when you get a full tank, they give you 5 kilos of posho, not posho, maize flour. So for me, being the person that does math, I figure my car is actually old, so I'm probably not saving anything by taking the Shell fuel, but I'm saving money when I go and get fuel from City Oil and also get 5 kgs of maize flour. Now my boys take porridge, I take porridge, so that's porridge for like a week and a half or 2 weeks. So if I use a full tank of fuel every week, let me just put off the cover. If I use a full tank every week, that means every week I'm getting 5 kgs of maize flour, and so I'll keep piling that up. So for the guys that take fuel, a lot of fuel like me, you can actually take advantage of that, and you can take advantage of that and get some free flour. Is it my lens that is dirty? No, it's actually the window. Let me try to clean it so that you guys get a good view. I think that's better. So don't forget, if you're taking a lot of, actually if you take 130k and above, they give you 2 kgs. But if you do a full tank now, they used to say 300k, but now it's very hard for you to fill your tank with 300k because the fuel prices have kind of dropped. So first of all, I saved 20,000. I saved 20,000 on the fuel, but then I also got posho, maize flour. That's the correct English to use. So I'm also going to upload. Good morning, Abra. Welcome. Agaba Cosmas. Yes. Good morning, Cosmas. I read your name as Abra. So welcome. I'm going to upload the interview of the. Remember, someone asked about the taxi business, transport business. So I managed to ambush my friend, the one that has been driving taxis since like he was. Okay, from our knowledge, he has been driving taxis since he was like 14. Because when the dad used to come to visit him, the guy would actually drive the taxi. So so I had an interview yesterday with him. It's 20 minutes. I'm going to upload it today. I know it's going to be very useful for the guys that want to invest money in taxis. So it's going to be very helpful for you. He also offered to help. You know, one thing I find very hard is for you to enter a business where you have no idea. I think that's why some people buy shares in companies that are already running. It's a practice that is done by bus companies as well. A number of people who can afford buses, each one buys their bus and they bring them together to form one company. I hear it's the same thing that has been done with Global Bus. And yes, Brian, I love your calculations and I miss Uganda for sure. Ninokunonya next year. Count a nice lunch on me. Thank you. Yeah, thank you. So it's the same thing that is done. I heard that Global Bus does the same thing. Like 10 rich people can come together, or 5 rich people. Each one buys their bus and they put in these buses under the same company. So they each hold the same amount of shares, and they get a manager, a good manager, or probably one of them is experienced with buses. So that person who is experienced is in charge of making sure that their buses stay on the road, that their buses make money and all that. Yeah. So the same thing has been done with a number of taxis as well. There are people that own taxis, but because they are not, you all can't be managing. You can't be managing one taxi. Otherwise, you may become a problem to eat. So people buy. So it's the approach that Ali. Good morning, Nicholas. Thank you for being here as well. Ali is willing. Good morning. Yes. Ali is willing to help people, especially the guys. He can help you manage your taxi. He pays you your money. Of course, he takes his own pay. The driver takes his pay. You know what happens with taxis? If, for example, you have your own taxi and you have a deal with the driver, the taxi driver pays you 6 days. The 7th day, which is normally a Sunday, is his day. Good morning, Stuart. Thank you for being here. So the 7th day is his. So if a driver, you count Monday to Sunday, so Sunday is not your day, it's his day to make money out of the taxi. So what Ali is proposing is that you give him your taxi, he pays you 5 days, and then day number 6 is his. So, and then, yeah. But of course, when you have a taxi, maintenance is on you, service is on you. Yeah, but if you buy a taxi in good condition, of course, then there won't be any problem. So I have the interview with Ali. Of course, he has been in the taxi business for as long as I remember. When we came out of A-level, he started as, I think he said, as a conductor, then later on as a driver. So now he has his taxis, and yeah, I'm going to upload the interview today. So for the guys that can check it out later, check it out, share it with people that you know have had interest in having taxis of their own, or to those who have had the interest of pursuing taxis, the taxi business or transport business, and then we see. And he also discouraged us from buying drones. I hear drones have a lot of problems. They are very expensive to maintain. And yes, it makes sense that for a first-time business owner in the taxi world, you don't go for something that is very expensive, which I've been telling you guys as well. If you're buying a car, try as much as possible to avoid the high maintenance cars. Buy the Toyotas because they are I did not actually notice the word, but it's going to overtake me. I hope I actually get to read the word. I didn't read it. So I'll start off by telling you that I've been having conversations with one of my followers here. He's interested in buying a car. He has a budget of 15 million. Actually, he has money, 15 million. And I've been telling him, you should not spend all your money, all the 15 million on buying a car. You see that car in front of us? It's a Vitz. So I've been telling him, instead of getting 15 million to buy a Spacio, or let's say a Raum or an Alex or a Wish, why not buy a Vitz at around 10 to 11 million? Use another 1 million to fix it up for the things that need to be fixed, to take a maridadi, put a good radio and all that, and keep the balance on your account. Why? Majority of the time when we are buying the first car, or when we are buying for our women their first cars, they are going to be learning. And when you're buying a car for your woman, and it's going to be their first car, it doesn't make sense for you to buy a new car, a brand new car. Normally when you see women driving brand new cars, okay, let's say bond cars, it's either the man is too rich that they don't care about the math, or it's actually the woman that has bought the car for herself. Now, if your woman is going to be driving a very long distance, or if you are, let's use you, if you are going to be driving a long distance like I do, 80 kilometers a day, you have a lot of risks that you face, you pass along the way. It's important for you to acknowledge that those risks will be there, even if the car will not break down. Morokas are quite expensive generally. That the light, for example, the headlamps for my car, so if you have about 15 million on your account and you use it all to buy a car, you will run into an accident like probably knock a border, because as a learner you are bound to get into those kind of accidents. You'll knock a border and then and you remember you used 15 million to buy this car, so you don't have any more money, and then you'll end up borrowing money to buy a headlamp. You get, or you can get into a minor accident and they need 500,000 from you, and you figure that you don't have that money. That's why I tell you that if you have 20 million, don't use 20 million to buy a car. Get a car of 15 million so that you keep some car money for those things that come without. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. It's, for me, I figure that it's very basic math, but I'm thinking that when we are going to buy a car, we have that excitement of Njagarampia, okay? Njagarifana na wait. That excitement of if you're going to be buying a car, why not buy a new car when you can afford it? And you get all this advice from all these people, and then you see people driving new cars, and then sometimes you figure, but we talked about that last time. People don't really care. The people that matter to you don't really care. The people that care don't matter. I'm sure you've heard of that. Omuntu afayo, what kind of clothes you put on, what kind of car you drive, what kind of perfume you have on. The people that care about the things that don't really make sense, like why don't you go and rent a house of 400? Normally the people that care about things that will put you in debt don't matter. The people that will come to you and then they say, hey, you guy, why are you putting on a watch of 10K? Go buy a Rolex of 1 million. Those people don't matter in your life. They are not your friends. They don't like you. You get? So it's very important that, this place is called, I think, Kagoma. Yeah, we are in Kagoma. So Kagoma is one way for you to bypass the jam, the Kawempe jam, and then you go to the Bwaise traffic lights. Patience 1. Okay, the Alex guy is still learning. It's actually a woman. Yeah, so nothing against women, but normally women are slow on the road. Good morning, Abby. Good morning, welcome. Yeah, so there is this car road that it's a shortcut. Normally, if you don't want to go and stay in the jam, you use these shortcuts. They help a little, especially when you're late. So I'm dropping my people, and I think if we take the main road, we won't be late. So like I was saying, let's try as much as possible to avoid the excitement. Excitement is good. It gives you adrenaline, but that's why I normally tell you that you need someone to check your excitement when you're going to buy a car. Someone that can actually tell you, man, stop, relax, breathe in, breathe out. Otherwise, you will come here and tell us things happen too fast. I don't know how they happened. You need someone that will tell you, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. Don't pay for that car. Okay, someone that will be logical. You know what we call the guardian angel. Yeah, you need someone that will be your guardian angel when you're going to buy your next car, or when you're going to buy your first car, or when your new car. And yesterday I published an article on the website. If you don't know the website, guys, after the live you can go check it out. It's called buyakampala.com. buyakampala.com. Yeah, so what I do on that website is I try to transcribe the things I do in these live videos, and I write articles and I publish them on that website. So if you have a brother or a sister or a friend that might not be able to make it to these lives of Angataina Data Ngari Kampala, but they can read, you can send them the link to that website and they will read the articles there. Yeah, of course I also put these videos there on that website for the guys that may not come to YouTube directly. When they are on that website, they can also see those videos. Yeah, so the excitement is bad, because excitement, it doesn't matter what you're buying, but if you get excited, most of the times you lose it. Actually, excitement beats us, not even when we're making purchases. Excitement is bad. Excitement is bad even when you're in your dating life, even when you're vibing a chick, or if you're a girl, even when you're being vibed. Excitement is a bad thing. Excitement is such a bad thing that it makes us make a lot of mistakes. Even when you're driving on the road, if you get excited, you need to know that in towns I drive not less than 50 kilometers, not more than 50 kilometers per hour. When I'm in a center where there are so many people, I don't go beyond 30 kilometers per hour. But it has a lot of power, and then you get excited. Those are the times you find people falling into ditches. Those are the times you find people knocking borders. You get what I'm saying? So excitement is a bad thing generally, but excitement is very bad when you're going to make a purchase, because when you get excited, you make losses. Yeah? Try as much as possible to always get a guardian angel. Now, in my experience, I've realized that mechanics are not guardian angels. Mechanics normally can't guide you. First of all, your mechanic is going to be kind of scared of you. They'll get scared of telling you that you're making a bad decision. If you've not watched Council Yunusu's video, you should go and check it out. The first video, part 1, he says when he went to buy the Golf, he had a mechanic, and he had a mechanic and the broker. So all these guys said in the motor car, nunji. However, when the car started getting problems, the broker was the first person to say, Ningagamba togula. But Yunus remembers very well that this guy never said togula. The guy actually confirmed that the car was good, that he was getting it at a bargain. You get? But at this time, the guy is saying, Nagamba togula. Then the mechanic was saying, Nagamba disigwe. But the mechanic is the same person that said the motor car listed it in a problem. You get what I'm saying? So majority of the time, the broker, the mechanic might not be so logical, and it's not that they are bad people. No, they are actually very good people, but it's human nature. First of all, the mechanic doesn't want to lose you as a client or as a customer. He knows that when you buy a car, he's going to start fixing it for you. He knows that if he stops you from buying the car you want, he looks at you and why? He believes that if he says don't buy that car, you will get another mechanic to come and confirm that you should buy, because you already want the car. So he says, that's why sometimes you'll find a mechanic say, nakuda bange motoka ojagala nenkuleko ogigule. If you have not had a mechanic say that, one time you will hear it. Nakuda bange motoka ojagadde nengamba kankuleke tunalabira eyo. Yeah, and most of the times, if you found any old man, those old men normally have wisdom. You know what they call that? Bajita school fees. You pay school fees. You pay for your mistakes. You pay for lack of knowledge. You get. You pay for lack of oversight. That's why I make you pay extra for me. If you want a mechanic as well, you can bring him, but normally I come with my own mechanic. Sorry about that. This phone holder has misbehaved. Yeah, so I'm just saying, it's very hard for the mechanic to see you excited about a car and they say don't buy. Their job is to actually check if it's drivable. Normally the mechanics don't check if it will break down later. No, they check to see if it's drivable. Normally the mechanics will not check if there are things to fix, because if there are things to fix, yakola sente ogenda kumala okugigula era ogenda sokera mu garage wowe, and then you'll give him money. So don't ever forget that the mechanic is about work, business. You get? So don't ever forget it. It doesn't make mechanics and brokers bad guys. Like some of my followers have been thinking that when I talk about brokers and mechanics, I'm simply telling you guys, brokers, mechanics, they are not bad people. They are simply people that are trying to survive. That's why the mechanic simply checks, will this person, okay, will my customer be able to drive this car? That's normally what they check for. Is the engine okay? Is the gearbox okay? At that time. I'm saying this again, at that time. And normally, at that time, the car is normally okay. Let me tell you the things that these car sellers, especially in the Butimba, what you people call Butimba, the Bubons, the old car bonds. What these guys do is that they patch the car up, they patch it up well enough for you to buy it. I don't know if you know what I mean. If the engine has a problem, that is Suzuki Escudo, it's a good car. It's also good that you buy a Escudo that is not very old. Don't buy diesel, always buy petrol. The Escudo is kind of like the RAV4, but I find that the Escudo, the interior of the Escudo is worse than the RAV4. It's actually very bad. It has very bad interior. Everything falls apart in a very short time. But the Escudo, if you get it in good condition, it's one car that you'll drive for the rest of your life. They literally never break down. You get. I've seen that majority of the Escudos that disturb people, it's wiring issues. And cars start having wiring issues when they are very old. You get? So some of the wires are actually broken. Negatives can get entangled with positive. You get what I'm saying? So if you're buying an Escudo, and actually Escudos are very affordable on the market, because everyone that has an Escudo that is in good condition doesn't sell. You get? Most of them at least, because I know there are guys that have Escudos in good condition that are selling. So the Escudo is also a good SUV, very portable, very good for women. It would do a bagger of SUV, but the interior is not pleasant at all. I think that's the biggest downfall of the Suzuki Escudo. But of course, if you get the Escudo, the new model, it's better, but the new model is too expensive. I find it to be too overpriced, I think, because it has better interior than the other one. That's why the people that are selling it are making it expensive. Also, if you're buying a pickup, you see that pickup that is going, that's a Mitsubishi L200. It's also good. I wouldn't recommend for anyone to buy the Nissan hard body. Instead of the hard body, you'd rather buy the L200. The L200 is a fighter. It's very easy to maintain. Actually, I think it's easier to maintain than the Hilux. Yeah. It's also cheaper to buy on the market than the Hilux. Cheaper than the L200. Yes, cheaper to maintain than the hard body. Yeah, the L200 is cheaper on the market and also cheaper to maintain than all those pickups. Also, if you're going to buy a pickup, if you're not someone that is going to buy a pickup, tell them to not buy Ford. Ford is a motor car. It doesn't matter whether it's new or old. Ford is not a car for the Ugandan user. There is even a meme that I saw on social media where they say that Ford, you know, Ford, when you open the tray, in Imabegewali Chijicha tray, the tray has like a valley. It's like a valley you can sit in. And the guys that create the memes say that they created that valley in the tray cover for you to sit on when the Ford finally breaks down on the road, because the Ford is guaranteed to break down on the road. Now, that's a meme that originates in the US, where Fords are made and probably the Fords are more affordable to maintain. Kakati here in Uganda, where almost every car is maintenance is very expensive. Why is it expensive? Because majority of the spare we get here is fake and also expensive. Now, in the US, where the Ford is made, these guys know happy hours. The guys that went to happy hours is actually here now, the primary and secondary. Yeah. So I'm in Kazo right now. I'm in Kazo. I don't know if you know Kazo. I'm heading to YEC. So there is this Maram Road here. Yeah. So this is how we make our shortcuts. For the guys that have not been in Uganda for a long time, where to call a shortcut is in Kampala to make sure that the fuel doesn't go a lot. And then that's how you use a full tank for more than a week. Yeah. So I was still saying Togura Ford is still motor car. There are cars that should only be bought by rich people. Ford, Tata, I've seen some other pickup models, all those ones, leave them for the rich guys. When you get rich, you can probably buy a Ford as a second car. But I also know a story of someone that he bought a used Hilux, and they told him to also buy a Ford. He has the money, so he bought a Ford as well. And the Ford was new by the way, the Hilux was used. But as we speak, the Ford is parked, the Hilux is on the road. So there are cars that should not be bought by the average user. Or even when you're buying a Toyota, I tell you to make sure that you have extra money in the account for if you watch the taxi interview today, you will realize that the taxi guy is actually telling you that sometimes it's bad luck for your car to break down. It has nothing to do with the inspection or something. Sometimes it's pure bad luck. You'll buy your Chigege from the bond, and the next week the gearbox breaks down. You buy your Chigege from the bond, and the next week the cylinder head. You get? Because normally when the cylinder head dies, it either makes a lot of noise or it starts overheating. It's one of those two things. Yeah. Or it starts losing energy, power. It starts losing power when you're probably going uphill and all that. So I'm at the Boise traffic lights. Yeah. And as always, the traffic police is overriding the traffic lights. They are saying red stop. The traffic officer is saying green go. That's our Uganda. You'd actually think that the traffic lights were put there because they are efficient, they make things run. So the next interview I'm going to be having is an interview of the guys that are driving lorry here for us to understand the lorry business. Blind, because I know guys that have actually failed to manage these things even when they buy new cars. Yeah. So this is the Boise traffic lights. And yeah, there used to be a lot of traffic jam here in the 2012 when I just bought my first car. Boise is a Toyota Yo. It used to be really bad, but these days the traffic is actually up moderate, and it's during rush hours. Like other times of the day, there is actually no traffic at all. And then even these border guys now yeah, so leave the Fords. I think that in front of us is a Ford or a Tata. Leave the Fords for government organizations and NGOs and companies like Total that have a lot of money, because a Ford can actually break down a sensor and they tell you the sensor is 4 million. But at 4 million you can buy a Toyota here and drive. You get? So it's important. Also avoid that car in front of us, the Mitsubishi Pajero IO or the GDI. Avoid it at all costs. Yakakamoto kankata niso kusumbua. You can even start thinking bakuruga. That car thing there. There is that car thing. There is also the one called the Toyota Terios. I tell you Terios jiveiko. Terios jeso niwe. Buribofu nechirowoze chikura Terios because it looks like an SUV. Wake ball, slap yourself. You get. Whenever you get a thought of buying a Terios, Toyota Terios, slap yourself. You'll be one of the happiest people if you don't buy one. And also that IO. The money you'll spend in making it work might actually be more than the money the person used to buy a Harrier car. So always remember that. And also, I think Ali told us you should not buy a drone, a used drone at all. You should not. And he also says the drone that is about 50 million in the bond is probably has problems. Hey Aban, how are you? You're dozing? Okay, so let's be alert. That's why we have this platform, so that so that's a 2.4 cc Harrier. It's very comfortable, also expensive, but also it's 2.4, but it has a VVTi engine. Of course, it's a big car, so it will consume a little more than my Corolla. But by the time you buy that car, I'm thinking you have the caliber to fuel it. You get. That's why I've always been telling you, buy a car you can actually manage. Managing a car includes fueling it. Tewepi car. Like I think it was Lucius that told me to buy a car that is more than 10 million. Don't allow your friends to kukupi car. Always stick to what you can afford. You get. And you know, when I was having the interview with Ali yesterday, something dawned on me. That why spend 25 million to buy a small car when I can actually spend 25 million and get a Chigege UBE in very good condition at the same amount. You get. The Chigege, first of all, can be hired out. Okay, it can be hired out. The Chigege can also, of course, if you live in a neighborhood like mine that has transport challenges, you can get around 10 of your neighbors in Gujanabo. You come with them to town, then you go back with them home. That way you're not buying fuel. Even if you got only 5 neighbors of yours, and then along the way you found people that are also stranded, and then you bring them back up. Why you say, like, for example, me, because after a while everyone goes their separate ways. You get. Yeah, so it will do you good to do the math. Why buy a Wish at 25 if I can buy a Chigege that is also in very good condition? You get what I'm saying? Of course, my math doesn't have to add up with yours, but me, I'm thinking as like a hustler. I'm the class, you know, we have classes of people. We have rich boys and rich girls. We have the old money. We have me. They started from the bottom type of people, and they started from the bottom type of people have to do a lot of math to survive. You get. Me, I do a lot of math to survive, because if you don't do math, I tell you, go back to the bottom. I'm not at the bottom right now, but if I don't do the math properly, I'll go back to the bottom. Yeah, so I also don't want my kids to be the started from the bottom kind of people. I don't, of course, I will not make them the rich boys, but I don't want them to go through things I went through growing up. And I'm sure if you're watching this video and you didn't go through a prison life, I'm the kind of person that went to bursary schools. I was the police where? You saw it? Yeah, I did not see the police. So that one, Urban, is called a flyover. Flyover. That's where people actually go when they cross the road. They go up there. So nzogenda kunfunira ya 5 million. I remain with some money. Over which car? 5 million. Like I said, sometimes it depends on what is in the market. You can actually go and get a Corolla like mine at 5 million. You can get a Primo at 5 million. You can get a Raum at 5 million. Of recent, I saw people selling Nuwa at 5 million. Don't buy that one. A Nuwa at 5 million. Chibachi Siran. You get. You can get a Subaru Forester at 5 million, but that one also don't buy. Where? But those are people. That's not the police. So you can get 5 million. You can get a number of cars. You can get Ipsum. You can get Ipsum at 5. At least if the Ipsum you can even get at less than 5 million. But like, no, we're going to pass down. But let me first finish what I'm doing, okay? So you can get Ipsum at even less. But like I said, the things that influence the purchasing price include who is selling at what time, what is the financial situation of the country, what are the things that are pressing the population at the time. Back. So why, bro? What can you recommend for 10 as starter and low income earner? Yeah, this is what I've been talking about. If you have a budget of 10 million, don't buy a car of 10 million. Buy a car of 8 or 7. I've forgotten. I'm supposed to pass here. So if you have money, not a budget. If you have money 10 million and you want to buy a car, don't buy a car of 10 million, because like I said, what way we go with others, some things might happen, and of course you did not plan them. Good morning, Vianney. Henry, good morning. Yeah. So 10 million, but if you have more than 10 million, like 15 or 13, I recommend that you buy a Toyota Vitz, the old model, not the new model. The old model, first of all, if you go to the market, you realize that the old model Vitz is much more expensive than the new model. Much more expensive. Why? Okay, this is the Chisasi roundabout. Yeah. So I'm going to switch to my view. Yeah, for privacy reasons. Yeah, as I head to Chisasi. So it's important that you understand. Don't use all your money to buy a car. You should keep some money. Is first of all, because it's very hard for someone to buy a car that is in perfect condition. Anyway, by your bond, you'll still find things that you need to fix. That's why I passed the other side. There's a lot of jam here. So it's important for us to understand. Do you want to go buy yogurt? Okay, you go, because there is jam here. You'll still find us. So like I said, if you buy, you have a budget of 10 million, or the amount you have is 10 million, but you need to hurry, it might move. So if you have a budget of if you have the amount you want to use for your car is 10 million, you should actually plan to spend 8 million. And why I'm saying that is because if you spend 8, then you have the 2 million to make things. Like, you're going to buy a car, it does not matter where you buy it, from the bond, from someone. Actually, if you buy a car from out here, chances are high that you can actually get a car that has new tires. Even if you bought it at 7, you get, chances are high that you'll get a car that has tires you can drive for 5 months, you get. But in the bond, those tires are bad. You know, I see people driving those bond tires, and I think to myself, you're putting your life at risk, but you don't know. Those tires are normally tired, you get, and they can cause an accident. But anyway, let's get away from that. If you want to buy, you spend 10 million on your car, buy a car of 8 million. That's if you have only 10 million. But if you have 15 million, 13 million, you can buy a car of 10 million. Then that means you have 3 million balance. First of all, to buy new tires. Tires are now 1 million. No matter which car you're driving, you have to have a budget of 1 million to buy tires. To buy a new radio. Sometimes when people are selling their cars, they remove the good radios and put bad radios. To buy another radio, to put a woofer if you want, to put screens for your kids if you want, you get, to respray parts of the car if you want, to fix the suspension, bushes, shocks and all if you want. So you need to calculate all that and have that money backed up on the account. Also, should you be driving on the road, no automata border yo muntu n'okulubula emmotoka y'omuntu. It's important that you're not going to get money from your savings, but you're still using money from the car budget to actually pay those things. Because in the beginning, for example, if you're going to buy a Toyota Mark II is very long, and it being very long, chances are high that you'll scratch someone over the top of. So if you're going to, you have that car budget there aside, the money you set aside is the money you're going to use to pay for these expenses. Which one? The sticker. No, I don't. You can tell your teacher to give us an input. Huh? They don't give them for free.
They give them for free when you have money.
When you have money, I tell you, when you have money, they give you for free. Anyway, so let me finish. So you guys, you have money. So for my brother Henry, who's asking, what car will you get me at? No, someone asked 5 million, Brian. I think I answered that one. At 5 million, you can get plenty of cars. First of all, Ipsam. Ipsam is very cheap. These days, you can actually, there is a time I bought an Ipsam at 3 million. I think I actually bought it 2.5 because the actual price was 3 million. Okay, the engine was bad. Engine was in the basin. They had opened the engine. I failed to fix it. So I bought it 3 million. I gave him 2.5, and he was supposed to come for the 500 when he bought the logbook. Now, when he brought the logbook was fake. So I told him, I can't give you this money to use this money to fix your issues. So I bought the car actually 2.5, and I used about 500 to fix the engine. And by the time I bought it today, and by the time he came tomorrow, the engine was running. And then he started regretting, and all. And so that is about 3. Then I used about 300, 400 to get the transfer done. That's 3.5. Let's count 3.5. And it had no tires, but I did not buy tires for that car. I sold it where they were. And I paid about 30,000 for someone to wash it up. And I bought plugs. The Ipsam, I bought the plugs of 60k. So that's just count. Okay, let's overall say I used 4 million to get that car running, and I started driving it. And I sold it 5.5, no, 5.8. Yeah, so I didn't drive it anyway. I sold it 5.8. Yeah, and so the Ipsams you can get, and there are cars that will actually tell you nobody sanga engine in full jigule, buy it cheaply, fix the engine for yourself, because some Americans do it, even Europeans do it. We are not special here. You get, we are not a special breed. These things, people that are more advanced than us, more developed than us, people that have more money than us do them. Until you can buy a car that has a bad engine and fix it up yourself, and that way you save. Like with the Ipsam, even if I had just decided to drive it myself, I had bought it cheaply, the engine, I had fixed the engine myself, so I knew the kind of condition it was in. You get, so the Ipsam is very cheap. You can get a Chibina that is in very good condition. You see, I tell you, normally, no matter the condition of the car, some cars have a peak price, like a roof price, that it does not matter what condition the car is in, it does not matter which number plate the car is on, the car will not go beyond that price. Now the Corona Chibina, even if it's UBB, it will not go beyond 7 million. So you need to know that. So bogena ne bakubba ne baguza Chibina olwokuba eri ku UBD ne bagiguze million 12 yabazukulu bakubya kuvuga, because nobody is going to buy it from you at more than 7 million. You should go and sign it. You get. So these are things you need to know, so that you don't make the mistakes that many people have made. The Toyota Raum old model, it doesn't matter how good it is, it doesn't matter which number plate is on, it's not going to go beyond 10 million. If you buy a Raum old model at more than that amount, wasura. You get the Raum, there is a time they were giving me a Raum, a UBB at 9 million. But I have biases on those cars, so I did not buy it. You get. So the Raum old model, it does not matter which condition it is in. Now, if it's beyond the UB series, the Raum, just buy it at 7 million or 6 million. Simu will be. That's just what it is. You get. What time is it? 7:32. Okay. Yeah. So these are facts that you need to know. The Harrier old model, it does not matter which condition it is in. You should not buy that car at more than 12 million. This I'm telling you because you will not get anyone to give you more than that money. You get. It should not go beyond 12 million. At 18 million, you can get a car. It will not be the current number plate, but it will give you a higher resale value than the old model Harrier. You can get a Harrier old model in very good condition. You get. At any way around so you need to know that. So it doesn't matter which number plate for those cars. The Spacio old model. If you buy the Spacio old model at I'm going to switch off my light because I have to switch off my engine. Yeah, but let me try to get light from this side. So if you buy the Spacio old model at more than 10 million, still you're being ripped off. At more than 10 million, you can buy the new model. You can buy a new model at 12 million at UAS, UAT, because you buying an old model UAV and you buying a new model at UAS. There is a Spacio I saw online. The new model, it had a Chikumi engine, the old Chikumi that, and I got that. So someone, I think the original engine died and he put the old Chikumi engine. Now that was a bad move. Now, even if it's a new model Spacio and it has an engine that is not originally made for it, buy it for million. Buy it for million, then buy an engine, the Spacio engine, because now you even have to buy a gearbox. Buy it 3 million. Then you'll buy the gearbox and the engine at about 4 or 5 million. Then you put there. Then you have spent 8 million and this pass your new model. Yeah, but also by the time someone actually changes the engine, there is a lot that they have probably spoiled. Because if they change the engine, they have changed the computer. You'll find that the computer of the Spacio, you'll find it around 200 or 250. So you have to buy a computer. You have to buy a chiwire. You have to buy probably the clock. There's a lot of things that you might have to change. The mountings. That's why I tell you, it's not good to buy a car that has been changed an engine. It's not good to change the car engine. Why? First of all, if you change the engine, you're killing the resale value of your car, but you're also not going to enjoy the car yourself. You get. So you need to know that. Now the person that said the car of 10 million. Okay, let me just stick to what you said. 10 million, you can get a Vitz. 10 million, you can get a Spacio. 10 million, you can get a good RAV4, very good. You can actually get a very good RAV4 at 8 million, then use the 2 million to make it the way you want. 10 million, you can get a good Harrier new old model. You can even get it 7 million and then use the other money to make it better. 10 million, you can get a good Subaru. 10 million, you can get a good Mercedes Benz. Now I know people are scared of Mercedes Benz. Actually, Mercedes Benz is better than a Golf. That's one thing I can tell you. Mercedes Benz is better than a Golf. 10 million, you can get a good Pro Box. Yeah. 10 million. $10 million. Well, there are plenty of cars. You can get a Fielder old model though, not the new one. Yeah. Yeah, but there are plenty of cars. 10 million, you still have a good budget, but the best budget is between 10 and 15 million, because then also and yeah, between 10 and 15 you have a very good budget. But even at 10 you can get a good car. You can even get less than 10 and then use the other balance to actually try and fix it and make it better. Yeah. Those are my brother. I think I've tried to answer you. Let's see. kindly talk about the Vanguard, Subaru. No. We don't advocate for Toyota cars, but it's just that for the people, if you're buying your first car, first time car owner, I don't normally recommend you to go for Subarus. Okay? Why? Subarus are expensive to maintain. That's something a mechanic will not tell you. That's something a broker will not tell you. Bakuita.
Fine, Miss Shalom.
Hello.
How are you?
Fine, yeah, well, how are you?
Good to
Good to see you.
If they told you, yes, how is the bone?
So,
When you have babies, even you can come with food on you without, Miss Shalom, yes, we are starting at 8. Yes. I want it to be very brief. I know teachers.
So, like I said, I don't just advocate for Toyota cars. It's just that Toyota cars for first-time car owners, and majority of my followers are first-time car owners. I want to recommend cars that will not give them hard time to maintain.
Honey.
Okay.
Honey.
Yeah?
To say hi, this is Miss Shalom.
Yes, yeah, we did. Good to see you too.
Thank you for having a very hard-working wife.
Thank you for having her too.
Yes, yeah.
So, especially for first-time car owners, they're also cheaper to buy. They also have a higher resale value than the Subarus. Okay. Now the Vanguard, I already talked about the Vanguard a number of times. I don't know if you were watching these videos as well. The Vanguard, majority of the people that I know that have Vanguards have it as a second car. They don't have it as a first car. I don't know if you've noticed that as well. And normally, if you find a car that people have it as a second car, it means one or two things. One, it consumes a lot of fuel. Two, it's very hard to maintain. And three, the person that has it is a rich person, so they have other cars to drive. I've not seen a first-time car owner buying a Vanguard. Of course, it's a reliable car because it's a big engine car. Big engine cars don't really break down. Big engine cars have a lot of power. So the Vanguard will be a very good car if you're the power freak. If you like driving cars that have power, the Vanguard will be a car for you. It's an SUV, so it's high. But also, I would also recommend it only if you have a lot of money. I'm trying to be honest as I can be. Because if you look at most of my followers, they don't have a budget that goes beyond 25 million. Okay, they don't. And I'm very sure you'll not find a Vanguard less than 25 million used. Okay, the new ones in the bond will go to 35 and above. Okay, so I normally try to talk to the person that has a small budget, but also there's one that doesn't have a lot of money for maintenance. So it's not that I'm against all these cars, but I look at the cars that are, you see, if you walk to a mechanic and you don't have a Subaru, and just do it, walk to a mechanic, don't have a Subaru, and ask them compare a Subaru to a Toyota maintenance. They'll tell you that a Subaru is very hard to maintain. It's very expensive to maintain. The spares are still expensive. Yes, they're available on the market, but they're still expensive. Now, the Subarus that you see on the road, there are too many years. But you'll agree with me that most of these Subarus are the current number plates. UBD, UBE, UBH, UBD. You get, they're the current number plates. Now, why am I saying? A kanga bakajijamu bond, most of the time, tegenda kufabi into bigger cent as often. Let me tell you, when you're driving a car, there are these things that take money. Bushes, they take money. Shocks, they take money. You get, wiring takes a lot of money. Now, when you buy a car from the bond, majority of the time the shocks are still original. Those shocks take a long time to break down. However, if you buy shocks in Uganda, you're going to be buying shocks every year. On Tegeda, you're going to be buying shocks every year. Why? Because the shocks on the market are not durable. Chitegeza, if you have a car and the shocks cost 800 to replace, you're going to be spending 800,000 every year to replace shocks. Now, this Subaru guy not going to replace shocks for the next 2 or 3 years. They're not going to replace bushes for the next 1 year. Okay, so you'll find that when you find the person that drives a Subaru, I have a Subaru interview, you saw it, right? And the person says he has not changed anything. But the fact that he has not changed anything doesn't mean that those things are not bad. It simply means he has not found the reason to open that thing up. And majority of the time when we are replacing things like shocks, you go to change it to buy new shocks, and the mechanic tells you, "Eh, shock on na yonfu." That's when you realize, okay, I have to change this shock. You get. Sometimes you hear a sound, you go to fix that sound. They say they're in a bush in full. They're putting a bush, and then they realize that even the ball joint is dead. In the new car, because the bushes are okay, you'll not get the time to see that the ball joint is dead. That's why you're going to find a lot of people telling you that Subarus are okay, because they're buying new Subarus. But I can tell you, I had a friend in the lockdown that bought a Subaru 23 million. It was UBD. Very nice Subaru. And by the end of 2020, he had exchanged it for an older model because he could not manage it. Now, you have to understand that in 2020, majority of that he had to change, which was easier to maintain. It was a cross sport. Having Subarus on the road want this cross sport, and you'll see a lot of cross sports. Kakati, sometimes I have this experience, and but because you guys keep asking for these reviews, I keep looking for them. But ideally, I would look for the much more common cars, because it's not a coincidence that a type of car is common. It simply means that the car is easier to maintain, easier to keep on the road. You get. But even the Subarus are very good cars. They are very comfort. That's not something I'll you saw the interview of the Subaru that I put, that my friend Ray, the Subaru he has. And I also did a live here, and I told you the benefits you get from a new car. You get. I think I published an article on the website as well. When I came back to sit in my Corolla, it's a 2001 model. It's old. The interior is old. The body is old. I sat in my car, and then I realized the comfort that I got from the Subaru is the same I got from my car. Not to try and discourage you guys from buying new cars, but I'm just saying the biggest benefit, the biggest feeling I got from the Subaru, the new Subaru, was that, okay, it's new. I touched the steering wheel, it was new. I'll touch the roof, it's new. The dashboard is new. You get.
Bye, bye.
Okay, bye. Bye, Aban. No, you leave that in the, put it, keep it.
It was for me.
Yeah, but you keep it here. You'll find it here.
Sweetie, Daddy will keep it.
Nobody's going to take it. Don't worry. Okay. So, like I was saying, the biggest benefit I saw from that new car was the comfort of Tuwali Chikubagana. You see, when I'm driving my car, you hear. In the new car, you don't get that. Now, for me, I realized that that's the excitement with new cars. You get. But you can still drive your old car no Korachi. No Nyumirwa. So that's why me, when I advocate for you not to buy new cars, I'm not advocating because new cars are bad. They are good. It's much better to buy a new car, by the way. It gives you the comfort of not going to the garage, first of all. But even me, there are times I do lives almost every day, and I don't go to the garage. I do a live in the morning, I do a live in the evening, and I don't go to the garage. You get. So there is no way you're going to tell me. And even if I went to the garage and I even bought a new engine for this car, there is no day I'm going to spend more money than the person that has a new car. Because you buy a new car at 25, I buy my old car at 5 million, replace the engine, respray it, buy new tires, fix up the interior. It's just that me, I've not gotten the interest to fix up the interior. But there are those guys that are duka upholstering, bakola interior, bakod badam ne repairing interior yimotoka. I'm sure you've seen them on TikTok if you have TikTok. They repair the car. You get. So it's just that I'm not, by the way, Vianney, I'm not against any brand of car. I'll tell you that there are people that buy Nissan naji nyumirwa ngatamunyumiza Toyota. I know a guy that for him avuga Nissan is okay. I know a guy in Tia avuga Subaru is okay. I know people that drive only Mitsubishi. I know guys that drive only Golfs. I know guys that drive only Mercedes Benz. You get. But the fact that this person got comfort, one in probably 1 million people. That's why you see that Golfs are not so many on the road. The Mercedes Benz, if you see a Mercedes Benz, it's probably a lawyer seated in there. If you see a Mercedes Benz, probably one of those rich guys, and today you find him in a Mercedes Benz, tomorrow you'll find him in a Pajero. You get. So it's important that we understand how these things work dynamically. the comfort you get from a car is actually subjective. The Harriers, even with as much fuel as they consume, nyingi n'okusinga Golf is a 1.5cc. Yet the Golf of 1.5cc would consume much more fuel, less fuel, and it's much more comfortable than the Harrier, because Golfs are very strong steady on the road. But why are the Harrier 3.0cc much more on the road than the Golfs? It's simple. The Harrier is very easy to maintain. The Harrier maintains its resale value. The Harrier, you'll find a spare readily available in the market. You'll find so many mechanics can actually fix a Harrier for you than the Golf. See? So I'm not against any type of Kaviani. It's just that my channel is to make it easy for people to own cars, to make it much more enjoyable for you to own cars, for you to enjoy the car journey. I'm sure you've seen people like that. I've seen people. You can find someone buying a motorcycle because his first car was a headache to him. I don't want any of my followers to go through that. It's very important. Your second or third car, when you no longer follow me, or when you no longer follow my advice, that's why I tell you, avoid the Pajero IO. I don't have anything against it. I don't even know who makes it. I don't even know who distributes it. Yeah, Airtel is misbehaving a lot again, but I'm here. And I also, when I tell you this, I don't tell you don't go. This is just my honest opinion, experience, and knowledge. Subarus are very good cars. It's just that they are very expensive to maintain. And also, if a Subaru engine broke down, it would be very expensive to replace. You get what I'm saying? At 5 million, someone can buy a decent car. I told you about my neighbor whose Golf broke down, the engine, and they asked for 4 million. For 4 million, if I had the 4 million, I'd go and buy a chibi to drive. I just buy and drive away and go to work. Actually, at 4 million, I have a bargain. I can look at like 10 chilinas and say, Yosijagare. People, Toyota, you leave Toyota alone. It's not that I have no idea who sells Toyota, by the way. And for your information, if I had to choose Toyota and Mercedes Benz, I would drive a Mercedes Benz. But I'm driving a Corolla. You get, and majority of my followers are like me. They are hustlers. They started from the bottom class. Which the rich kids don't watch these things. You get, because when he wants a new car, he calls daddy. I want a new car, and then daddy buys I know of a rich kid that is driving a Turage now. He was driving an ML, so you get it. So Vianney, that's why I most of the time talk about Toyotas. Simobubi. Yeah, but Subarus are good. I have a review on the Subaru, but even the person I did a review on for the Subaru, he has not fixed anything, so he has a good experience. But for a car of 35 million, if you fix anything, then you picked wrong, because he bought the car 35 million. 35 million. Ngura chigege yange nesigazaho milioni 10. You get? Yeah, good morning Dunston. Toyota Brevis. Kakati, the Brevis is comfortable, no doubt. The Brevis is the same as Mark II. Edimu class ya Mark II, Edimu class Crown. Mostly in the class of Crown. I think it has a 2.5cc engine, which is very high consumption, first of all. But also the Brevis has aluminium, so not very easy to fix. That's why when they had just come, the Brevis were so many on the road. But along the way, they started disappearing. Now someone will ask, why did they disappear? First of all, when you put the tires, the nuts, all those parts are aluminium. So sometimes, for example, if omusumari wegunaba, I don't know how to say that in English. Omusumari wegunaba. Something you guys need to see. You needed to see. So omusumari wegunaba ogwa Brevis. That's the end of that. So you need to buy a new part. You get, it's not the same with these other Toyota cars, which most of the parts are not aluminium, and hence they can be reused and reused and reused and reused. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. That there are only those two biggest challenges. The brevis, first of all, consumes a lot of fuel, but also the fact that most of the parts are aluminium, and hence once it breaks down, it has broken down. I think it's the same thing they talked about the Toyota, the Noah Vauxhall. The engine is aluminium, and hence when it overheats and blah 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 and all that. Yeah, but with the brevis, still has that problem. Nainga Tefa, the engine rarely breaks down. It's a luxury car. That's one thing you need to know. It's a luxury car. I know a number of people that were driving brevis, and along the way they went and exchanged it for another car. It's VVTi, but 2.5cc even in VVTi. For you, I would recommend that if you're going to buy a 2.4, a 2, any car that is beyond 2 liters, you buy an SUV. It's much more worth it than you buying a saloon of more than 2.0cc. You get, because 2.4cc you can get a Harrier Kawundo. You get, and also the brevis has a very bad value. Until you buy a brevis at 10 million today, and the next you want to sell next week, and they're giving you 5. It's that bad. It's really bad. It has a very bad resale value. So kati echobeda ngo chimanyi. So and Ugandans don't, especially enlightened Ugandans don't drive cars that have bad resale value, especially men. Why? As a man, like for example me, because I'm a hustler, as a man, I try as much as possible to buy a car that I can sell quickly and at a good amount. Because if I need to recapitalize my business, if I have a deal, I want to buy a plot of land, I want something that I can sell quickly, buy a plot of land, also get another car. You get, if I have to recapitalize my business, I need a car that I can sell, recapitalize my business and get another car. Now in my Corolla here, if I needed capital in my car, I can sell the Corolla, get a Chivina, recapitalize my business, and then the business makes money for me that I can use later to top up on the Chivina and get a better car. You get what I'm saying? So katuba tuzanya tubanga abazanya mukazala katono tono. But of course, if you're the kind of person that believes in things, sijja kutunda, I'll never sell my car. And so many times people sell these things, and for example, you see that Subaru Outback, that's a UBL. It's very hard for you to find that person telling you a Subaru is bad, because he's the first owner in Uganda. You get, and he might probably change that Subaru next year. So he's not going to find that problem. So if you're the kind of person that is going to be buying old cars, you don't have hope that next year you get a 10 million to top up on that very car to get a new one. I don't recommend normally to buy a Subaru. I don't recommend to buy a Mitsubishi. I don't recommend to buy a Nissan. I don't recommend to buy a Subaru. No. What other car? Mazda. You get. I recommend for you to buy a car that you can buy your car for drive your car for 5 years, and you'll have no problems. And then you drive for 5 years, and when you sell the car, it will lose at least 1 million or 2 million. But this Subaru, drive it for 5 years. You bought it 35 million. Drive it for 5 years, and I'll be giving you 10 or 15 maximum. That one, that Outback, you see, drive it for 5 years, and people will be buying it 6 million. But get a Fielder, drive it for 5 years, it will lose maximum 3 million. You get, because they simply have resale value, Toyotas. You get. So just make sense of that. The brevis, first of all, I don't recommend that you buy a brevis no matter what. I know you're probably talking about the brevis probably because you sat in it and you felt that it was comfortable. Okay, but the comfort you get in a brevis, you can get it in a Mark II Grand, or you can get it in a Mark X. Actually, instead of buying the brevis, just go and buy a Mark X, because Mark X has a very bad resale value, but it doesn't get to the level of the brevis. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. It doesn't get to the level of the brevis. It's important that you remember that. Let me see. Patrick has asked something here. That's why we talk about cheap cars. When I was in marketing school, the course head, the person that headed our course, told us that when you're selling things to people, avoid using the word cheap, because the word cheap sometimes makes people believe that cheap is, because people already believe that cheap is not good quality. So try as much as possible to use the word affordable. Yeah. So for affordable cars for Bamufuna and Pola. Then Patrick asked here, can you elaborate about the series of number plate I can get 10 million, especially the Spacio new model? And can I raise it if I live in areas with bad roads? Yeah. Okay, Patrick. Spacio old new model, 10 million. First of all, I recommend over in a million come Spacio new model the vehicle. You'll get problems. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. If you want to buy a Spacio new model, you should start with 12 million and above. Most of the time it will be 13 million, but 12 million you can get. 10 million, forget about the Spacio new model. Because if you get one, it will be in UAM, UAN. Now, the Spacio new model that is in UAM, UAN has moved. Actually, the Spacio new model, when it has UAM, like my car is a UAM, chances are high that it has moved more than my car. Why? Because that Spacio has been resold more times than my Corolla. And when a car gets resold so many times, chances are high that every person that buys it drives it so much, too many distances, because the fact that the car is being resold so many times obviously means it has a good resale value. People want it a lot, so people use it to move a lot. I would recommend that if you're buying a Spacio new model, you start with U80 and above, and those number plates will start from 12 million and above, but still you can get a UAM. Also, a Spacio at UAM, because it came at a time when people did not know how to fix the VVTIs and the electronics yet, chances are high into baji anyo. Why I'm saying that, you cannot compare the Spacio new model to my Corolla. Why can't you compare this? The Corolla came in Uganda brand new. The Corolla, most of the Corollas you see on the road, they came to Uganda brand new. Good morning, Council Yunus. So you guys say hello to Council Yunus. He's down there also. He has come to watch. And just to remind you, we are going to have a live with Council Yunus on Monday 17th at 4 p.m. Yeah, we'll be having a live here, 4 p.m. Ugandan time. We'll be talking about a lot of things, very interesting things. So I'm just saying that most of the Corollas, the Corolla like the one I'm seated in, when they came to Uganda, they came at 0 mileage. They were bought by NGOs. They are bought by police. Okay, so they came brand new, mostly police. So my car, the Corolla at UAM, has moved less than the Spacio at UAM. You get? So you can buy it if that's the budget you have, but their cars have recommended a 10 million that probably did not move as much as the Spacio. You get? And the Spacio has probably changed more arms than the cars that I've recommended. You get? But still, if you happen to get it, I'm not saying you can't get it. If you happen to get it and it's in good condition, you don't have to raise the Spacio, by the way. The Spacio is already high. Probably what you can do is put a little bigger tires. But like I've said before, bigger tires mean a little more fuel consumption. It will increase the fuel consumption by about 10 to 20%, which is a small amount. But if you move long distances like me, 10% is quite much. Because 10% means every time I drive my full tank. You get? For me, 10k is a lot. So, but yes, you can raise it. You can put spacers, you can shocks, but also you can buy bigger tires. Okay, and then it raises, but you don't have to raise the Spacio. If I can drive my Corolla in the kind of roads that I drive in, you can drive a Spacio there, and most of the roads in Uganda are not worse than the roads I drive on. Yeah, but I can tell you that it depends on what you're looking for. But also, if you're an African man, most of the Spacios on the road are 1.8 cc. And if you're an African man, chances are high that you are going to want to buy a car that fits your family. This means that if you buy a car that fits your family, you're going to buy a 7-seater because you'll have more than 4 kids, right? An African man. Me, I'm not an African man. 2 kids are enough. 7-seater minimum. Yeah? This means you're going to want to get a Spacio that is a 7-seater. But under those circumstances, I recommend that you get a Wish. Why? Because the Wish can take your people and the farm products. Yeah? And also, the Wish will give you more power. The engine. Because that engine was meant to carry that number of people. Okay? Whereas the Spacio, these guys were just giving their people options. Katika tubaweyo 7-seater. That's just what happened. So I've entered Mukoto. Yeah. And I found a good place that has bread here. I'm going to buy some bread. So you guys need to understand that you need to be very careful about the cars you buy or the cars that they tell you can get. Okay? Also, you need to be very careful about the cars you buy even when you're buying new. For example, it's UBG. Right now it's selling at about 9 to 10 million. Why? Because the new Spacio in the bond is 16 to 17 million. Even as we speak. The kind of Spacio in the bond right now is 16 to 17 million. If you get a Paso Sete, then you go to 19, 20. So the Paso Sete might have a higher resale value, but it's very hard to find people that want a Paso Sete. People just want this because they believe it consumes less fuel. Of course, the power freaks like me don't buy this one. You get. Kapaso kano karuzinga resale value very fast, very, very fast. When the person is buying it, will buy it from you. To buy it from you. So it's important that you know that as you go to the market. Elaborate on the Ipsam. Last time you shared more on the Ipsam old model. How about the new model picnic? Don't avoid the picnic, people. Avoid the picnic. First of all, the picnic is 2.4cc. Of course, it's the VVTi. Avoid the picnic. Avoid it. Instead of buying the picnic, just buy the Harrier old model and you will settle. First of all, the picnic has shocks that are electronic. Okay? The shocks, they are electronic, so they are complicated, my brother. I found people that packed the picnic because the shocks were dead. Now me, I have like 3 dead shocks on my car and I'm driving comfortably. You cannot know. But the picnic, the moment one shock dies, it starts making very bad sounds. You cannot drive it. You get. Also, it's 2.4cc. I find that 2.4cc for the Ipsam, it's not worth it. Already the 2.0cc for the Ipsam, the old model, it's not worth it. You get. Excuse me guys, let me just get a snack here. Let me just get a snack for the road. You can keep having that view of the road and the traffic officer and all that as I return. But keep the questions coming. Okay. Let me just go buy a snack here. All right, so I think one of my phone holders is actually broken. It's not as strong as it has been. Yes, let me use the second one. Okay. The juke from the bond, my brother, I don't know. I'm going to call someone and ask. How much they sell it in their bond. But currently, I don't know. Yeah, so both my phone holders have actually broken down. But so I have to go and buy. So Council Yunus, you were asking me how do you know these are good? You don't, so you just buy and you hope for the best. So they have all broken down at the same time. So now I just have to change the place where I bought this one. So I'm back, but my phone holders have all broken, so I have to conclude my broadcast from here because I don't know if I will be able to handle this as I drive. So I have to conclude my broadcast from here. So let me just briefly answer these if there is any, and then how much can I get a Primo 2006 and why Primos overpriced? They have a very high resale value. People want the Primos. The Chocho Kachiji says 2006, it depends on which number plates, but in the bond between 25 to 35 to actually they go as high as 40 million in the bond. Here on the market you can get a dot Primo starting at 12 million depending on which number plate you get. Yeah, because you can get a UAS at around 13 million and the list goes on, you get. So it depends. You can get even at 13 million here. Yeah. The Juke, I have to ask. Yeah, but don't forget guys, on Monday 17th at 4 p.m. We will be live with Council Yunus talking about a number of things that we know are very important for all of us to know. So I have to end my broadcast because, well, misfortune has befallen me. All the phone holders have broken at the same time. So let me just go through you guys just to make sure I acknowledge your presence. Kenneth was a very fast person, then Brian, then Cosmas, Nicholas, Stuart, Abby, Henry, Vianney, Patrick, Dunston, Council Yunus, Ibrahim. You guys, thank you very much for being here. It means a lot that you come and watch. Well, it makes my journeys smoother. Yeah, my journeys are smoother because you guys are here. I hope the information I give you is very useful. For the guys that are going to buy cars this week, I wish you the very best of luck. For those that are coming back to Uganda, well, safe travels. For those in Uganda, let's keep surviving because, well, that's what we do. Well, living in Uganda is another talent. It's a skill. So you guys, I have to go. Thank you very much for taking the time to watch this broadcast. I remind you, go to the website buyakampala.com. I try to transcribe the things I talk about here in these videos on that website. For the people that don't have data to watch videos, they can actually go and click on an article and read it. Nebafuna almost the same as they get here. Of course, it comes on the spur of the moment, not edited, yeah, not prompted. So this is more original than what comes in the article. But for the person that cannot watch the video, it's much more worth it than not getting anything. And don't forget, I sell car trackers as well. It will cost you $350 for the tracker, and installation as well. When you're in Kampala, we can find you anywhere. And our truckers give you the ability. Our truckers give you the ability to. They give you the ability to stop the engine remotely using your phone from wherever you want. Kampala, you can decide that engine is sijagala, you switch it off. You can call our truckers. You call no bali mu motoka byebogera. You can see where your car has been in the past 24, 2 hours, 2 weeks, a month, or a year. It's all kulaga where it has gone, kusawa meka. You get. Our trackers also give you an alert. It gives you an alert. Engine, it gives you an alert. Engine, you get an alert. There are so many alerts you can get, but the most important thing is you can know where your car is at any time. You can stop the engine at any time. It has a lot of functionalities. And also I help inspect cars, pre-purchase inspection. Of course, kusente zompa ndetako mechanical wange. Now osobola okuleeta obwo yagadde to get a well-informed decision so that you don't make a mistake with the car. Kati nze mbeera nga guardian angel wembeera ku motoka yo ng'ogenda okugula nze nkuba oluyine ka gwe. Of course I don't slap you, but it's a figure of speech. Nze nkuyambako to make sure that you make logical decisions. Wadde oli excited, I help you curb the excitement of buying your next car. Yeah, and I charge between 350 and 500,000 bw'oba ogenda okugula emmotoka, so don't forget. Yeah, I wish you a very good day and see you soon. Don't forget, I'm uploading the taxi interview today. Ciao.